Hi everyone, I'm Mark from Travelshorts. That's my daughter Holly. That's my son Matthew. And good morning, a very early morning from Manchester Airport. It's 20 to 4 in the morning. We left the house about 1:30, so just over an hour ago. We're now walking from T3 Multi-storey, which is where we parked up, heading towards Terminal 2. Today we're going to be flying out to Zurich in Switzerland. We're going to be spending the weekend there. This video is going to be all about us travelling from here in Manchester Airport all the way to Zurich in Switzerland, where we're then going to catch a train heading towards Grindelwald. Because the plan is for later today we're going to go sledging in the Swiss Alps. We've made it to Terminal 2. We just need to head through security and get airside. Okay, just checking the boards. We are the 6:30 to Zurich, which is about by there. Currently on time by the look of it, no issues. So let's head through security. We found a quiet area of the airport to come and sit down and relax for probably an hour or so. Just filled up my bottle from the water fountain, which is just behind us over there. We're going to sit down, relax, and wait till we get a gate number. So we're going to be flying out with Easyjet this morning. I booked it a couple of months ago. Flights are really good, actually, price-wise. I think we're paying around £40 return each. So for £120. We're all going to Switzerland for the weekend.
So we'll get gate info at 5:20.
Okay. They've just announced our gate. B3, that should be about a 5 or a 6 minute walk from here. In that direction.
These passengers to confirm loading now through the gate to B4.
We have made it on board. That took about 30 minutes to get from the gate on the bus to here. When we're about 10 meters away from the plane, I'm not joking, it was about 10 meters. There was something on the road just in front of us. We could see the plane, but the driver wouldn't let us out, which I suppose fair enough, because probably health and safety has to be, the bus has to be in the exact position for people to leave and then walk onto the plane. But it was just within touching distance, the plane was. But there was just something blocking the road ahead of us, and they had to wait maybe about 25 minutes to get somebody to just move the thing on the road. So just to let you know, time now is exactly 6:30. We've just got on now, and this is the time we were due to depart. We left the gate on the bus at 5 to 6. So it's taken, 35 minutes basically to get from the gate onto the bus. We are seats 14, D, E, and F. I will do a really quick seat tour, but you know what an Easyjet flight looks like. These are our seats. There's Matthew. There's Holly by there. This is the leg room. So again, it's not much leg room, if I'm being honest. Tray table, which there. You've got the safety on board guide there, and you've got the Easyjet Traveller magazine there. And a thick bag. Window is pretty dirty, so I don't know what it's going to be like trying to film takeoff and landings, but we'll see in a moment. But I might not be able to film it properly. In fact, I think I'm not going to be able to film it properly. So yeah, it's obviously we're going to be taking off a little bit delayed. I'm not sure how long yet. People are still boarding the flight. And I think there was a second bus behind us as well. So maybe 20-minute delay or so. Hopefully we'll be able to pick up some time on the flight. Because when we do get to Zurich, we want to try and rush through passport control and immigration, although might take a bit of time. And potentially I'd like to try and catch a train at 9:43. We're due to arrive just after 9 o'clock. If not, the next train after that is an hour later at 10:43. And it feels good again to travel with these two, because this is the final weekend in February, just for reference. The last time Matthew came on holiday with us was October last year to Romania. Holly came with me to Dublin at the beginning of the year, very beginning of January. And the last 3 trips, I've been solo, doing my little weekend away. So it's good to have Team Owens back together again.
There was things blocking the coach to get to the aircraft, and the authorisation that they need for the coach movement, etc. had to be put in place. So yeah, that was what was happening there. So sorry for that.
All 3 of us have been sleeping the majority of the flight so far. We've begun our descent. We should hopefully be on the ground in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, Captain just said. We are running a bit late due to land around 10 o'clock. So we've definitely missed that first train that I wanted to get at 9:42. I'm really hoping we're going to be able to catch the 10:42 train. So the journey from here to Grindelwald on the train is going to be around 3 hours, and that involves taking 3 trains as well. From here to Bern to somewhere else, and Interlaken Ost to Grindelwald. If we don't make that train, the next one is again an hour later, which would be 11:42. There's almost no point in going to Grindelwald, because when we get there, we're going up the mountain and then we're going sledging. We'd be getting quite late. Well, we'll see. We'll do our best. We'll try and go through passport control and immigration as fast as we possibly can. That's out of our hands. Fingers crossed. So we have landed. We're now going to go through security as fast as possible. And fingers crossed we're going to catch that train, which is only about 40 minutes till it departs. So we made it through security in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to make this train, but we've still got to find the train station. So we've seen which train we want. We want the IC81 going at 10:46 to Interlaken Ost. Going to be platform 4, which is over by there. I'm really happy, actually. We've made it with some time to spare to catch this one. I was a little bit worried when we first got to the passport control. There was a really large line, but it went through pretty quickly. So our train has just come on the board here on platform 4. It should be arriving in a couple of minutes. Best thing about these kind of trains as well, and trains throughout Europe, they tell you where to stand to get ready for which coach you're going to be in. So we're going to be traveling in first class today. Said that there's 3 first class coaches on here, and they're going to be in section D. So we were just standing in section C then. We're now heading down the platform to section D. So we've made it on board. Like I said earlier, we're traveling first class today, and I'll talk about how to travel around on Swiss trains shortly. But before we do that, would you like to have a quick seat tour? So there's Matthew and Holly there. They're sitting opposite me. across this table. These tables you can open and make a little bit bigger if you needed to. There's a plug socket by there. On this particular train, there's no USB sockets, unfortunately, so I got my travel adapter in there with some power cables coming out to charge our phones after the flight. So the first carriages are made up of a 1 and a 2 configuration. It looks like all of them face each other past the table. Then there's a desk area by there as well. It's quite handy that there's a screen on the wall saying what the next station is going to be. So our next station is going to be Zurich Bahnhof, which basically translates to Zurich Central Station. The journey between the airport and the Zurich itself is only about 10 minutes. We will be coming back this way tomorrow when we come home, but we've got a lot to do before then. So, as I mentioned, how we're traveling around Switzerland today using the train network is actually a bit different between Matthew and Holly and myself. So I've got a Interrail, first class Interrail pass for 10 days. So it's valid for 10 days over the space of 2 months, because I'm going to be traveling a lot around Europe on a couple of separate trips, which are going to be happening in the future. Well, in the next week or so, actually. So I'm using my Interrail pass, but for Matthew and Holly, the most cost-effective way for them to be on a train today in Switzerland is to use the Swiss Sabre Day Pass. It costs 33 Swiss francs for each of them, and that gives them unlimited travel on any Swiss train for 24 hours. I think it's time to go for a quick tour of the train. And I guess you're going to want to see what the bathroom looks like on board as well. So this is it. It is pretty compact. Got a sink. And we've got a toilet. And this nice little forest display on the wall. Hand soap there. And toilet roll there. And that's it. Let's carry on exploring.
This train continues to Zurich, Spiez, Interlaken West and Interlaken Ost.
We've just got into Bern station, which means we've got another hour to go before we go to Interlaken Ost. There's another 3 stops before we get there. And once we're at Interlaken Ost, we're going to be transferring. We've got a very short window, just a 5-minute transfer window to catch a train all the way to Grindelwald. So it looks like we've changed direction now that we've just departed Bern. So we actually went into the station that way, and we're going out of the station that way. So I was facing forward and Matthew and Holly were backwards. Now they're facing forwards. And from the research I've done online for this journey from here, so from Zurich to Interlaken Ost, they do recommend sitting on the left-hand side for the best views, which is that side now, but obviously we wouldn't sit that way anyway, because that's just the single seats, and we like being on a table of 4, obviously. Like I said a short while ago, we've just got under an hour now to go to Interlaken Ost. We'll be getting off a changeover onto our train to go to Grindelwald. The Grindelwald train for Interlaken is about 36 minutes on. We're due to get into Grindelwald at 20 to 2 this afternoon. We're just arriving at Interlaken West. This is our penultimate stop before we get to Interlaken East and change trains. So we have arrived in Interlaken Ost, or Interlaken East. We've got a 5-minute transfer window to get to Platform B. We've just arrived at Platform 5. Platform 2B is our train to Grindelwald, leaving at 1:04. And the reason why we're 2B, not 2A, the train splits halfway throughout the journey. So that front is going to Lauterbruno, and we're going to Grindelwald. We made it onto the train to Grindelwald. This is going to be 36 minutes long before we get there. There's 2 stops in Grindelwald Terminal, and it's Grindelwald. We're going to just Grindelwald. Unlike the last train, there's no first class on this one. Everything is just a regular second class. And you can see the sun's come out of there as well, which kind of crossed my face. So this is the route we're going to take from Interlaken Ost until Grindelwald. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stops before we get to Grindelwald. This might be a good time as well to promote my Instagram channel. These videos normally take me at least weeks or sometimes months to actually edit and upload to YouTube. So if you want to follow where we are, when we are, if you can check me out on Instagram, my username is @Travelshorts. I normally post stories wherever I am around the world so you can see where we are in real time. Yeah, check me out on Instagram @Travelshorts, and that's my promotion over. So now that we've arrived at Grindelwald, we want to dump all our luggage in here because we don't want to take that up to the mountain. So right outside the train station, which is behind me, these lockers here. I'm going to see if this works. So you scan a QR code. I guess you say, I'm locker number 39 and I make a payment. Let's have a look. Okay. Enter a number. Okay, so I've logged onto the system. We've selected locker number 39, and it's just going to be 10 Swiss francs for 24 hours. So I'm just closing that. Looks like it's sending something through to it now. I click lock box on here. When closing the door, it will automatically lock. Okay. And that's locked. Now that we've made it to Grindelwald, we've put our bags in the locker, we're going to start our little sledding adventure, and that will be in the next video. So we're going to end this travel day video here. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. It's really appreciated. If you're new here, my name is Mark, along with my daughter Holly, son Matthew. We make travel and theme park videos from around the world. And now here's Holly with a very special message.
If you like this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. Bye.
Bye.